Hey everybody, this is Don Ward, Third Creative, thirdcreative.com. I am here because there's some changes to the Coyote Football 2019 template that I want to talk about. I've been getting a lot of requests, finally got around to adding additional surface layers, and this will now be a multi-sport template outdoors. So it'll now be called Coyotes 2019 Outdoor Multi-Sport Template Bundle. And we're going to have some new layer options for this surface here. Several for baseball, softball. We're going to have soccer, golf, track. And we also are going to have a plain grass option, kind of a catch-all. So you can use it for band or cheer or field hockey or lacrosse or I don't know, anything else that I'm not thinking of that's an outdoor sport. But anyways, want to just kind of show you some of these new layers and how they work. One thing of note, the panoramic has changed a little bit. It's still a 1:3 ratio, but rather than being the 12:36, it's going to be an 8:24. Still a big file, still great resolution, but with all these extra layers, keeping it 12:36, the thing was a monster and just didn't seem practical. So I think the only thing I want to cover before I jump into this, if you have already purchased the Coyote Football 2019 template, great news. You get access to all these new surface options. If you just go to the PDF file that you downloaded when you purchased the bundle, use that same link at the top and just re-download the files. The new files, they've been updated, so it'll have all the layers in here, and you'll be good to go. If for some reason you just can't find it, not a big deal. Go to thirdcreative.com, very top, there's a banner. Click on that, fill it out. It'll shoot me a message and I'll get you a new fresh link and you'll be good to go. If you haven't purchased the bundle as of yet, this is a perfect time because it's going to cover so many bases for you, and it's been a hit for high schools especially. I think that's pretty much it. Let's just jump in and talk about these new changes. I think I'd like to turn off the subject images so we can just look at the changes by themselves. If you look at the surface options folder down here at the bottom, we're going to go all the way down. Now, you're still going to have the two original grass options that work good for football. That's what came with it originally. But let's go ahead and look at some of the additional surface options. This one, entitled Home Plate, I'll go ahead and turn it on. Now you can see how big this is, so you can scale this thing up or down. I set it where I thought it looks good, but depending on what you're doing with it, you may want to scale it down and, let some more of this show. You can also change the perspective. So depending on the angle in which you shot your player image, if this doesn't quite look right, let's see, go to Edit, Transform, Perspective. It's a smart object, but you can kind of scale it down or whatever you need to do there. But there's a lot to work with here. As you can see, the next baseball option, it's kind of I entitled it First Base Line. Just like the other one, you can move this thing around. So if you want the base to show, if you want it to be bigger, you can scale it. You can kind of see there's some grass, dirt. There's a lot to work with there. It does have these hue, saturation, and levels adjustments. I got it the way that I like it, but you can always go in and tweak those to your liking. Next one, I've entitled it Dirt and Grass. It's the pitcher's mound, and you got a little bit more to work with here. So depending on how you want it, you can move this around, scale it, change the perspective, just tweak it to make it work for you. So those are the three baseball options on the vertical. I'm going to jump over to the horizontal once we're done with this, because there's a few things that are different. But let's keep going. The next one we've got is track. And so I've got some track lanes here. You can move it around and see we've got some numbers. We've got a lot to work with there, so same thing applies. And we've got a soccer field option. Got a little bit of real estate to work with here. And let's see, plain grass. This is the catch-all that I was talking about. There's a lot of real estate with this one. So if you want the grass to look a little finer, you can work towards the top. If you want it more detailed and bigger, you can scale it up, scale it down. You can do a lot of things here. And like I was saying earlier, this is kind of your catch-all. So if you have an outdoor sport that's played on grass, it might work pretty good. So now we have some golf options. These are pretty cool because they're separate layers. So you can turn on the golf hole and the golf ball. And because they're separate layers, we can move them around. Or if you want to highlight both, you can scale them down or up or whatever you need to do. It's my personal opinion, for it to look right, if you're doing golf, come up here to the lights folder and just turn it off. Usually don't have stadium lights on a golf course, so just my suggestion there. But that's a quick run through of all of the new surface layer options on the vertical. A lot of similar stuff on the horizontal. Let's go ahead and turn these. Where are they at? Oh, we got them all. Okay. Got the subject images turned off. A lot of the same stuff. We've got the 2 football options. We also have home plate, which you can move around. We have second base, which, again, you've got some real estate to work with. We have our soccer field. We have track. I guess the main thing is just not as many options for baseball. They didn't really work for the wider perspective, where you ideally would have several subjects. So all of these same options that I just showed you are going to be available on all of the horizontals, and everything that we went over with here on the verticals will be available on the verticals. That's pretty much it. If we jump over, let's see, you can see a ton of sample images. If we come down here, I've got everything updated. So if you click on the product and you scroll down, you're gonna get a description, but you can kind of go through and see. I've got it set up for football sample images. You can see, of course, you don't have to use the surface layers. You can take them out. A couple examples there. But you can look through a lot of the baseball options. You can look through the soccer options, what they look like. We still have the schedule option in there that you can use. Same for golf and track and just your plain grass. And I think that about covers it. So I guess let's keep this as short as possible. I'm really excited to get these new additions to this template. Excited to get it out there to you. Excited to move on to something else. But as always, if you have questions, if you need anything, shoot me a message, don@thirdcreative.com, or you can go to the website and use the contact option there. As always, I hope this serves you well. Hope it keeps your parents happy and it makes you lots of cash. So till next time, see ya.